All right, I am Marwan Cameron, and this is the Conduit. As you can see, it's all Christmas cheer here. It is 5 days before Christmas. It is Monday, December 20, and it's cold out. It's 39 degrees. I don't think we're going to get any warmer as it is 3:04 p.m. in the afternoon. We are right in the middle of winter. As such, every Monday at 3 p.m., we are joined by Bremerton Housing Authority's Executive Director, Jill Stanton. And normally we have KCR's Matt Garrett with us, but he is slammed right now due to the holidays. So it is just Jill and I today. Jill, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a great day.
Absolutely. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was a good weekend. Yep.
So I don't want to bury the lead too far, but I kind of want to lead into it a little bit. We meet every Monday, and you talk about different things that you're trying to do as the executive director of the Bremerton Housing Authority to help deal with the homelessness issue in more than just one way, right? It's not just providing a physical structure, but it's also resources that are around it also. So the Bremerton Housing Authority does so much. We actually met with Lori. She came to our office and met with our office manager, Stephanie, the other day, and she was with someone else. I wasn't there, but that was an awesome meeting and a training on, how to calculate the money piece of it. So that was awesome. And so there's so many different things that the Bremerton Housing Authority is doing right now, which is cool. The outreach piece is kind of a new wrinkle that I haven't seen before, which I think is awesome. And so I wanted to say thank you to that as we are getting ready to end 2021. And today I'm going to tell everyone, without telling everyone, we're going to have a short episode today because we're just going to talk about some news. But I also wanted to ask you just if you could. Oh, no, I guess we have one more Monday. Are you going to be available next Monday, do you think?
I
It'll be the 27th.
Yeah, our office is closed, but I can still be available.
Okay, then if you will be available, then we'll save your kind of year in review. I'd love for you just to kind of, reflect on 2021 and talk
Yeah.
about your goals for 22. So if you're going to be on, then I'll push that till next week.
Okay.
So last week we talked about there was a grant opportunity, and if you just kind of recap us on that and let us know what's going on with that, that'd be awesome.
Okay, sure. Happy to do it. So, yeah, about so the state, the Department of Commerce put out a rapid acquisition funding opportunity, and it was going to go in 3 rounds. The first round was due in September, and there were several projects that got awarded funds, but nothing for Kitsap County. I don't think anybody from Kitsap County applied. Um, the second round was due in November. And in that one, we did put in an application. Our application was very unusual, and so it was something that is not typically done. We've been struggling because if we buy an existing unit, then if someone's living in it, essentially it's not really helping us house another family. And I noticed that in the first round, the projects that got funded were brand new projects. So they didn't have to displace anybody and they could quickly move people in. So I immediately began looking for brand new things. Like, what can we buy that's brand new in Bremerton that we can afford? Well, right up there in the Bay Vista development, they're building brand new houses, and we already have a big presence up there. We have lots of units up there. We have a big apartment complex, a few of them. So I was like, well, maybe we should just buy some new houses. And because we know that we have families who we have to be their landlord, they're struggling. They're not able to compete in the private market due to all sorts of different barriers. So I talked to the board about it, and I said, we would need to match, and I asked our board to if they would put up $1 million for this project. And we have an awesome board. They were like, you know what, we have to protect our money, but even if we don't get the grant, we want to do this project. We think it's that important, and we will try to figure out another grant or what, but we want you, Jill, to go ahead and pursue this because we think that we need this in at the Housing Authority's portfolio. So we went forward with three. They would only let us buy three at a time. So we went forward with those purchase and sale agreements. And of course, I've been sweating bullets because these are $500,000 homes. And again, the Housing Authority doesn't have deep pockets, right? We have to protect our resources. But, anyways, long story short, we got the grant. The
Good.
whole yep, it's awesome. So we're
That is awesome.
yep, we're buying
Wow.
two more houses. We'll be I'll sign for those this week, and we have some modifications that we have to make to be able to maintain them. But I'm hoping we have five families, with either these emergency vouchers or other vouchers that they just haven't been successful. And it's really heartbreaking for these people. They're losing hope. And so to just, get this done and get people in these homes, it's just like a miracle. And we're going to just keep doing it. Now it's like five homes at a time. That is, that's my new goal. Like we
Five
can
at a
do
time.
this. Five at a time. We can do this. It's exciting for Kitsap County.
So that's huge. I don't want you to reveal the addresses, but can you tell us like a little bit about the homes? Like, are they 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom? Uh,
Yeah, they're all 3 bedroom. Two the ones that we've gotten so far, two of them are ramblers, and then one is a 2-story, and it's also a 3 bedroom, but then it has a little bonus room. So according to the HUD rules, any place where someone can sleep can be considered a bedroom. So we could actually consider that one a 4 bedroom if we had a bigger family that needed a larger unit. It would definitely work. And they're, like I said, brand new homes. They're beautiful. Energy efficient homes. So in a good neighborhood.
Jill, let me ask. When I sold my house, I had a 5 bedroom, 3 bath home, and when we sold, they were saying that we had to sell it as a 4 bed, 3 bath because one didn't have a closet in it. So are those like special HUD rules that it's separate from selling, or is the
Yeah. There's special HUD rules. So, and it's true, this bonus room does not have a closet. So, and it doesn't have to be used for a bedroom, it's available if we did have a bigger family. And so the other two homes that we have not purchased yet, we're still deciding, what's really the need. We have a choice. Either we can get two more of the 2 bedroom or of the 2 stories, or we could do one of each, or we could do the ramblers. The thing about the ramblers is they're still under construction, so we might have to wait a couple more months. But yeah, so we're just going to make those decisions. But this is super exciting. I am excited for Kitsap County and Bremerton right now.
that is a huge deal. So let's go into your mind a little bit. You said that this was kind of an out of the box kind of grant opportunity that you were looking for. So how did you find it? What went through your mind to say, you know what, we can put this square peg in this round hole and go for it?
Well, basically, like what I was saying before, is I knew I get the grant opportunities come by all the time, people from the county. I think Kirsten Jewell might have sent me this one. And so I'm always looking like what's going to fit. And you have to kind of be ready quick. And I knew in the first round, because it went quick when the announcement came out for the first round, and I didn't have a project put together. I had some ideas of things, but nothing that was solid, because like you have to have site control, meaning and one of the ways you have site control is to have a purchase and sale agreement. So when that first rounding went through, I was just reviewing it, and most of the money went to Seattle. And I noticed that they were for these brand new places. And I thought, that's brilliant, because the other thing to this grant is you have to be able to house people within a short period of time, like 90 days or something really short. So you have to be ready to go, right? And so I'm thinking, the only thing that we're going to be able to do is something brand new. We don't have time to remodel. We have to look at for what's new. And I just, happened to be up in Bay Vista like a day or two later, driving around, checking on our properties and, visiting with people. And I'm like, why don't we just buy some of these houses? Why not us? Like, why not? And so I went into LGI, and they're like, yeah, we'll sell them to you. We'd love to have BHA buy a few of these, because they bought the land from us. Um, years ago as part of the whole redevelopment of West Park. So they were like, yeah. And then the board, when I talked to them, they were like, this is great. There is families struggling here that they have issues. They haven't had, perfect lives. They have credit issues. They have rental history issues. And it's, not that they're going to be bad renters or anything like that. They just need a chance. And I talked with KCR, and I talked with Kitsap Mental Health Services, and I said, hey, if these families need some services, will you provide them? They both said absolutely. They wrote us a letter of support for the grant. The mayor wrote us. Oh my gosh, I got to tell the mayor.
Oh, the mayor doesn't even know. We know before the mayor. Okay.
Exactly. I
Okay.
forgot to tell the mayor. Yeah. So, anyways, I was just like, this is a great idea. And the thing about it is that I love is that, as important as shelters are, and I am a big supporter of those projects, we need them desperately. And we need families to be able to live in homes and not, all be in these congruent situations. Like, this is something where, we provide long-term stability, and we don't even know, but we know there's going to be a positive outcome, right? But it could really change these children's lives. And that's what I was looking at. Like, okay, if this is available, what could this mean for a family? And, it could mean the change of a life. And so that's kind of how we sold it in the grant application. Like, it's not a shelter project. It's not a hotel, because a lot of them they were having these, buying hotels and turning them into 1-bedroom. And so this was a specific thing for families with children, and we really sold it as that. And yeah.
And you can't underscore how important, stable housing is to a family and to the kids in particular. But and really, you can't really even separate it out, because the parents need that stability, right?
Yeah.
Whether they're working or not, or whatever their income situation is, or if they're retraining and going to school, they need to have that sense of peace, that they have a place for themselves and their kids that isn't going to be ripped out from under them. Kids need the stability so that they can go to school and be kids, right? To learn,
Exactly.
not
Exactly.
worry about, hey, you know what? I'm a teenager and I can't play in sports. I can't even focus on just the regular curricular, assignments that are due to me, because maybe I'm working to help pay the rent, to keep, mom and dad housed, or whatever the scenario is. And there are countless families. I actually would love to have some come on and kind of talk about their experience of what sustained housing support has done for them and their families. Because it's a big deal. And I've seen it firsthand, and I've had these conversations, but I think it would be advantageous for the community to hear some of those stories, to say, hey, look, 1 year, 2 years, that's not enough. That time goes quick. We were talking about transportation the other day, and how long it takes to apply for help and get all the documentation in place, and your situation may change, and all these things that take place take weeks and months and sometimes years. And that time is ticking. The child is getting older, right?
Yeah.
They're experiencing more aces as they kind of go through it. The parents are, it's hard to stay hopeful, especially during the holidays. And even now, I would say, just kind of as a side, sometimes I feel a little guilty. It's like, I love the holidays. I love the season. It's a really hard time. You're trying to be uplifting, but you know that there are people struggling simultaneously. So it's like, okay, so how do I enjoy and be happy while I'm at the same time working with the community that's experiencing homelessness or physically on the streets, or whatever their situation is. So sometimes it's kind of hard for me to reconcile that. But man, this is just huge news. Like you told me offline, my cheeks were hurting. You can see, I mean, they're really poking out there. So, and I can see it on you. You're definitely, feeling it today. So man, that's
Yeah.
awesome. What a win.
It is a win. It is a win. And I just think, I haven't been here in Kitsap County that long, only for a year, but I just always get this sense like we feel like people feel like we're overlooked and we haven't gotten what we needed. And, it is such a difficult thing to find housing here. And then, the Navy I think we talked about this last week. The housing allowance just went up, and so that's just going to make it even harder for our voucher holders to compete. And so, you know, yeah, this is five families, but it's five families, right? So I am super excited, and I just always tell the staff, we have to think in creative and different ways. We can't just keep doing the things the way we've done them before. Even, we even need to push back on regulatory things, like make sure that we always want to follow the rules, but we need to make sure we're understanding the rules. And if there's some flexibility in them, every decision that we make is really affecting somebody's life. And so we have to think about that as a housing authority. What is our mission? It's to house people. So when we make decisions, we need to understand what the impact of those decisions are. We're not just doing paperwork here. We are we are affecting people's lives. And if we have somebody that's ready to be housed and we're the holdup, that's another night that person could be in their car, or staying on a friend's couch. Housing instability is dangerous. It is really dangerous. And so we just have to do everything we can to make sure that we're doing all that we can, and to meet our mission. And so I think it's just a great time at the housing authority, because we really are kind of a new team now, or a new leadership team, and we're thinking in ways that are different and creative. And it's a really exciting time. So this was a big, huge encouragement for us.
And you said two things that really struck me there is it is dangerous for folks to be homeless and, sleep in their cars, couch surfing, all those things, right? And so majority of the folks do not have drug and alcohol problems. It's the fact that they stay in that
Yeah,
situation and it continues to degrade for so long where these issues develop. And so then when you see it on the other side, you're like, oh, these homeless people are they're drug addicts and alcoholics. And it's like, but you're not looking at what was the catalyst for that, right?
exactly.
You're just looking at, oh, this is what the situation is. But if you can stop it, then you're talking about the resiliency and the hope that can be experienced, and hopefully, not creating, generational poverty, right? Where it's passed on to the child because they're experiencing that for long periods of time. The other thing that you said, I wanted to go back to earlier because you were talking about looking at things in a different way. And the closet question, you've got this bedroom and there's no closet there, so it's not considered a bedroom for sale, but HUD can do some different things. I went into someone's house once, and you know, uh, uh, there are many Americans. I grew up, and the dining room was a room you really didn't go into, right? It was made with all the fine china, so the table was set, and it was only used for the special holidays. And it's like, well, this is just a wasted space. This could be a bedroom. This could be another
Yeah,
option for someone. So my question is, as I layer something else on top of that, is why can't that be used as a bedroom when now some of the models are tiny homes that may be, 300 square feet. I mean, do they have a closet? I mean, technically, but they got a bathroom and a kitchen too. So does that make it a bedroom? I mean, we're talking about very comparable sizes.
hmm,
Is there a way for us to get out of our antiquated way of thinking and saying, hey, this dining room is, you know, a bedroom, because it
yeah,
can be a bedroom where you can put a bed in there, you can put up a temporary wall or some kind of a divider if that's what you need to do. That beats someone in their car, someone on a mat that's an inch and a half thick, you know, or someone not being able to be housed because, well, this is a house for a family of four and you only have two, or you're a family, whatever the scenario is, or two families coming together. What's your thoughts on that?
yeah. I think HUD is their rules on that are that if it's a room that you can sleep in, you can count it. So, and it becomes really important because depending on the household size, you can always take a larger household and go into a smaller unit, but it's a lot. You can't take a smaller household and go into a bigger unit. And what I would love to see happen is that we do get the right families into these homes. That if we have a 5 or 6 member household, they would be perfect for these 3 bedroom, 2-story homes, because the 2 stories have just the rooms are bigger, the bonus room is there, and they could really utilize it. And then we save the smaller ones for smaller families. But yeah, I mean, I think with HUD's rules, we are looking at things much differently now.
And we won't play it today, but there was Josh Farley was they were doing the Bremerton Beat Blast on YouTube, and it was 2018, and it was like kids have housing crisis, what can be done? And he spoke with the family, single mother with 5 boys, and she talked about how, and I know many parents who sleep on the couch so that their
Yeah.
kids can have the room, and it's like, well, that is the parents' bedroom. So if we could start changing those things or relaxing some of those policies, then we could probably create, more opportunities for more families and individuals. My other thought was, combining households, and try to make that work. Maybe you have two single parents and a couple kids, and they're going into a larger unit, um, and they make that work. Because I mean, that's what happens when you couch surface office,
Exactly.
oftentimes, especially if it's family, right? It's like
Yeah.
you're gonna go in there and sleep with your cousin, right? And
Yeah.
so now you're in there, and the parents are in their room, and they're making it work. And so
Yeah.
there's just not enough units to house everyone. So we've got to come up with some unique ways to do that. And with the support and the resources that BHA and KCR and other agencies kind of come around and support, I think that may be looking at some new ways of tackling housing.
Yep, I agree. And I think, we just need to be ready. I do think that there's going to be more federal funding coming down for acquisition and development. So, I just always tell the staff, if you see anything that looks like, this is a potential thing that we should look at, let's not be quiet. We're all in this together. So we'll probably have 80 BHA staff running around looking for real estate.
So we see your car driving around, the
Mm,
BHA cars, the little white cars driving around. They're
yeah,
scoping out some land.
that's us.
Well, that's awesome. Like I said, I promised I wanted to keep this one a short one and keep it on a high note today. Congratulations, Jill. I am going to give you the final word. This is 5 days before Christmas. What a great Christmas for Bremerton Housing Authority and the families that will be impacted for futures into the future.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Marwan. Thank you for all your support and, keeping this podcast going and always being cheerful. And yeah, it's a great day for all of us here in Bremerton. And so happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And, we'll do this again next Monday.
All right, you got it. So we'll see you on the other side. But until then, for those of you that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. For Jill, I am Marwan, and we will see you next Monday. All right, everyone.